Ooh, what? Hard.
Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for Battle of the North. I have to say, I'm starting to really dig that intro music. It's slowly, but surely coming to me because it is brand new. And the weekend was mad. I can't lie to you. A lot of VAR decisions, a lot of drama, a lot of anger from the people as well. And I'm back here with a regular cast and crew, the panel that you all know and love for the drama. Flawless, Husam, and Daps. First of all, I start with Mr. Sarcasm City TV, aka Take Note, aka Mr. Flawless in the building. How you doing, big boy?
Fire intro. Good to be back. I look forward to the show, man. Good to be back. Good to see Husam back as well. He was missed last week, so yeah, man. And thanks for having me as always. And looking forward to the show. I know there's a lot to talk about.
I bet you fucking are.
What do you mean? Are you bad for why? What do you mean? And
that was a very violent.
I mean, what do I mean? What do I mean?
You know?
Aren't you back, bro? I heard you're back. The news is that Man United are back.
Yo, we just kicked off. Yeah, Daps just crashed into me. First 10 seconds,
bro. We literally just. I just blew, bro. Where's my whistle?
That's a yellow card.
Oh, I haven't got a yellow already, have I?
That's a yellow card, surely. You'll say nowhere near the ball.
My whistle ain't even here, but I just kick off the game and then Daps 2 foot tackle. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's outrageous, man. I bet you fucking are. Like,
bloody hell. All right. Well,
I'm just ready. It's not a good week for me, Husam. Again.
Daps is not a happy man. Husam, welcome. How are you doing, sir? Merseyside derby, entertaining as always.
I just feel like shit, to be honest with you. Like, it's just I'm a very good bro. It's gonna be a long season, man. It's gonna be a long ass season. I don't even know what to say anymore. I did a match reaction in which I repeated for an hour. I don't know what to say anymore. So like, I generally I actually do not know what to say, man. Like, you know, I'm not gonna run the "I told you so" like card the whole year, but like I did say this was gonna happen, you know, and they called me every name under the bus. Matisse, you know, big up to him, our lovely host who stole 3 points this week. He called me a critical thinker because, you know, I could see the signs before they happened. And here we are, man. Here we are. But anyway, happy to be here. Happy to be back on the show. You get me? I love doing this. So, yeah.
Mystic Husam. And because this gets so out of hand and we actually only have an hour slot, so the audience already know that we're going to have to have... I've actually kept my whistle in my jacket and it's out there, but I got cards as well because you guys always get rowdy and it's hard to manage you lot. But Daps, how are you? Are you okay? You know, I mean, the title race for me, I keep saying it's done, but you lot just keep making it interesting.
This is a thing. It's this good agenda that all rival fans are going to build up. Is that they're like saying from week 3 title race is done, and that's being fair. Some were saying week 1 title race is done, and the fact is, right now we've proved it once again that it isn't done. People can keep saying that, creating this good agenda that when, you know, if anyone comes close to us, there can be said, you know, it wasn't a great season from City. It was a great season from Liverpool coming second to City or something like that. But yeah, I'm all right.
Nah, that's the thing is, it's done though. Even though City might not be bang at it, somebody still has to catch you. There's no one there. There's no worthy challenger. Liverpool ain't going to do it. Chelsea are not going to do it. Manchester United are not going to do it. Arsenal are definitely not going to do it. Spurs ain't going to do it. Somebody has to catch you. Even if you fall off 10.
Daps, you know me, I'm serious, but you have won the league. That's just the God honest truth.
No one has to
I don't think anyone can win it.
Just to confirm to everyone, we haven't won the league yet. By the way,
I'm letting the chat know.
I
Yes,
hear you.
Well, the watches, the league's over.
This is the best of the rest. I firmly am in the belief that after seeing Kevin De Bruyne link up with Erling Haaland once again, that we should create a Premier League playoff trophy for the best of the rest. From 2nd down to 6th, we should have a playoff trophy like they have in the Championship, and we can fight for that. And I think it would be great. You can have a Wembley final, a first leg and a second leg, and I think it would be very entertaining because as much as I know Daps is disappointed with the draw, at the end of the day, Liverpool drew as well. So
yeah.
it don't really matter.
you know what? I'm going to blame streams on Friday, and this was one of them, right? Is I just kept being asked questions, right? And I started moving a bit too arrogant, a bit too cocky. I counted up that on Friday I said, yes, Erling Haaland will break Salah's record. Yes, Manchester City will break their record of 100 points and they'll get 101 points or more.
That's where I disagree.
Yeah,
so do I now, bro. Trust me. This is what I'm saying. I think
this season nobody will get 90 points.
Yeah, no, I agreed. I mean, already we've dropped 4 points to Villa and Newcastle, and we've still, we've got Tottenham coming at the weekend. We've got.
But that's man, we all get things wrong. Matisse will call things wrong. I call things wrong. Husam has called things wrong. And he said 12 easy points from United and Liverpool. I mean, United and Arsenal. And then what happened there? Do you know what I'm saying?
He's just gonna run this one forever. I'm never
gonna. It was 2 weeks ago.
I know the thing is, flawless.
Did you not say that? Wait. Did you not say that?
Did you not say
I deserve that. Me for something you said.
I'm not even gonna say anything. I deserve it.
You said it.
I reckon if he was gonna throw one more,
I
it would
did
have
say
been
it
Everton.
and I was wrong. But we're gonna keep running.
That was my point. I wasn't taking shots.
Battle of the North shows we have left. You know how many?
Yeah, I know we have plenty left in it. I'm fully aware.
I'm saying keep running this every week. I'm okay with it.
How am I running it with every week?
I was wrong.
I'm not. Yeah, we know this. I was just making a point. I did say Matisse is wrong many a times. I said I'm wrong many a times, and I said you are. We all get things wrong.
I cannot do.
I said all of us.
And then you went in to say in detail where he went wrong. Pinpoint it out. Much like Monday Night Football with Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville. Flawless will stand up and he will analytically point out on the screen where Husam has gone wrong. In this particular moment here, if you can see him just behind in the half space, this is where Husam said that they will beat Manchester United, just here. And this critical, wrong decision making is where the attack broke down for Husam. This is
the thing is, if Husam would have been here last week, right, I would have been pretty confident that if Husam could have thrown in one more game that was a guaranteed 3 points, he probably would have gone with Everton.
No.
He really does disrespect Everton. I did shows with Husam on Twitch last year, and he said Everton would get relegated. He doesn't like the Liverpool fans disrespect Everton massively. They hate that.
I think they're gonna get relegated this year, but I wouldn't say guaranteed 3 points. I wouldn't. You know that.
You're gonna miss out guaranteed.
But I even got that wrong. I was disrespecting Everton on I think Friday or Saturday morning, saying about how crap their team looks now. Like I was saying, previous years, although they haven't looked great, on paper, their squad has looked better than it does this season. And then they go and get a result like that. And I'm like, what do I know about football?
But to be fair, Everton have been disrespecting themselves. It's like a promiscuous woman in the night at Camden Market. It's very difficult for me to respect you when you won't respect yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's difficult. It's tough in these streets. But the point I wanted to make with Man City, because obviously he did drop points, is that Coutinho goal. I know people are talking about
that,
it's mad. I know people are talking about Chelsea, but that was robbery, and at least that goal was emphatic, top corner as well.
But correct me if I'm wrong, right? The Manchester City players stopped playing because a decision had been made, right?
Yeah.
So was the player offside? No. Had the Manchester City players stopped playing because the officials had stopped the game?
You blow the whistle.
But Ederson wouldn't have saved that anyway. Come on, man.
No. But I'm not going by that. That's irrelevant. The City players, John Stones literally let man through because they thought the game had been stopped. And then they looked and the game had been stopped. So he wasn't offside. But
do you think that goal doesn't happen if...
Yeah, they wouldn't have. John Stones literally let man through because it was like, nah. So he wasn't offside. It's the same as Rodri handball. I'm not going to come on and say, no, if you draw the line on, then actually, no, it wasn't. But again, it's poor officialing. Do you know what it is, Matisse? I'll say it about your decision. I'll say it about my decision. And real quick, I will say it on the Arsenal Man United one. That one's the craziest one. How Arsenal fans are getting in uproar over that, I do not know. Right? It was a foul. Right?
Arsenal fans for you.
Yes, the decisions are... No, but the thing is, right, it was a foul. Do I think that in a game of football that should be a foul? No, I don't think it should. But was it a foul? Yes, it was a foul. He didn't get the ball when he took the player. It was a foul. Decisions are wrong. Not decisions are wrong. The rules are wrong for me. Not in that case in particular. But the thing I was going to say is we've all come out in uproar this week about decisions. And we all probably were in uproar last week about decisions and probably the week before and the week before that. And yeah, we know refereeing is dog shit. it also, in my opinion, is swings and roundabouts, unless you're an Arsenal fan, because then you claim that it's only you that gets decisions against you, right? It's swings and roundabouts. We all know bad decisions again. You just have to get on with it, man. We can't until they change them. Like they tried to change them this summer, and they made it all about perspective. And it's like, well, if it's not black and white, you can't automate it and let a robot do it. Ultimately, so it's just the rules are the rules.
I disagree with that. Look. The major problem here is, and this is something that I think most of us would agree on. The problem is not VAR. The problem is not even the technology. The problem is not the game stopping so they can check the goal or whatever. The issue is the referees themselves. The thing is, it's like giving someone who can't drive, like he doesn't have a driving license, giving him a Ferrari and then going, oh, it's the Ferrari's fault he crashed. The problem is the English referees, full stop. The problem is the English referees. That's the problem. The Man City game, it was an on-field decision. The West Ham Chelsea game, it was a VAR decision. The Liverpool Fulham game, it was a VAR. Every week, one day I would suffer, one day Daps will suffer, one day Flawless will suffer, one day Matisse will suffer. The problem is the referees themselves. There is the reason why English referees are probably not going to get taken to the World Cup. They weren't taken to the Euros. There's genuinely, like, you cannot have categorically the best league in the world and have the worst referees in the world. Because when I watch the Jordanian league, they make less mistakes, these referees. It's just about like everything on top. There's no consistency. If this week, I punch Matisse in the stomach, I'm going to get a red card. Next week, Daps punches Flawless in the stomach, he'll get a yellow card. Like, it's just zero consistency. It's just, that's the issue. Yeah. The issue is the referees. I'm never going to blame VAR. I'm never going to blame the technology. I think the technology is there to be used and has been implemented. We all here, except for Flawless.
I have to do a VAR check on what Daps said.
Sam, you're right in a way.
Let me say one last thing.
I'll let you continue play, but then I got to do a VAR check.
Let me say one last thing. We all here, except Flawless, are participating in the Champions League for the last 2-3 years. We have seen how it's implemented in the Champions League. And I genuinely do not recall anyone complaining about VAR in the Champions League for a while, because they implement it properly. The guy goes to the monitor, he makes up his own decision, and he takes 30 seconds to make a decision, and voila, it's all over, and let's continue with the football. So all the European referees are able to do it. So why are we not implementing it correctly here? And plus, it's almost getting to the stage now where as soon as the guy goes to the monitor, for a fact he's going to overrule his decision. Like, it's literally in a period of 2-3 years, they've only stuck to their decision 1 or 2 times. So the guy in his ear is telling him what to do. It ain't even about him. Like,
but just to check on what that said,
Neville spoke on that yesterday, because for the Ericsson decision, Neville was saying he's gone but I have a feeling he's going to overrule it. I have a feeling he's going to go out of what's happened recently. He's going to try and go out of the box and overrule it, but he didn't. But go back on what I said.
So when you said that the goal wouldn't stand if the play had continued, I checked it because I got my own monitor here, opened up a new tab. I would share it on screen with you, but copyright and that. Rodri, when Coutinho skips past Rodri, that's when the flag goes up and that's when the whistle is blown. And then the shot comes from Coutinho. So you would not have stopped the goal. It would have gone in. Because Stones is covering at left side centre back, and the game's still going on when he gets bypassed.
So, Matisse, do you know what's made that, even if that's true? Because I'm saying what I've said based on, when the coverage, they check with the VAR room to see what the reason was.
Yep.
That's what they gave the reason was. Exactly what I said is what VAR gave the reason to Sky, right? Or Sky or BT or whoever the hell it was, right? Many other broadcasters are available. But
Peacock.
Shout out Peacock, yo.
But yeah. So what is even worse then is that it sounds like they're lying to cover up their mistakes as well. But when I said as well about the how in the summer, I remember someone shared it with me. They've made some amendments to some of the rules of VAR, right? And I went through every single one, and every single one was not black and white. It was like, if the ball is traveling at a speed that is, and it's like, well, you haven't put what speed the ball needs to be traveling at. Therefore, like, if the ball is seen to be traveling at a pace that is 2, and it's like, based on what? All of it is just too fluffy, right? And I get what Husam's saying. He is right. The technology is there. Like, generally technology, if you Matisse, the first show I ever did with you, I said something about if you want the perfect answer, you have to ask the perfect question, right? And that is what technology does. That is what technology does, right? It works on pretty much binary, innit? 0-1 is right or wrong. If you ask the perfect, and that's the thing, that's what they need to do to get the right results out of technology. Otherwise, technology just goes and hasn't got a clue what's going on. And that's where it is with all these rules. It's just, but like I said, I don't really watch. There's decisions I could moan about, but I'd rather not moan about them because the players just need to work harder. It's as simple as that. Players need to work harder.
Fair enough. And then obviously, you know, in Liverpool, you had a decision that was actually correct with the Cody offside. That was actually clearly offside. So fair play to VAR there. See, we will big you up. And I was even suggesting post-match refereeing interviews because to explain your wrongdoings, but also to big you up when you do great games and you can give us an extra perspective on your viewpoint of you know, Richarlison doing kick-ups or, you know, Anthony doing samba skills on the right wing there before his goal. You can give us a new perspective and a new look on it. But yeah, how are you feeling, Husam? 0-0 against Everton. The team that Everton put out, it makes me want to credit Frank Lampard even more. Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard, they have to get their dues this weekend because they took points off of Man City and Liverpool, and that's not easy. You guys hit the post so many times, man.
Little bit of column A, little bit of column B, but we move. More so Liverpool.
Gerrard deserves a bit more credit.
Like, everyone's been getting points off them, innit? But we move. Your Fulhams, your Palaces. I'm just saying, innit? But we move.
Lawless, you do realize this? Like, he asked me about the Liverpool game.
Nah, he did. I was just making a point. I'm just helping him out. I'm just backing him up, man.
Your honor.
I'm just backing him up. I'm just backing up Matisse. That's all it is.
Thank you very much.
So I'm saying, you see that cover in it, that Liverpool midfield lacks. Like, that's what that was. I just did there, and it just sweeping up behind Matisse because he got caught out of position. That's all it was. Because he said it's not difficult to take points off you lot, and it's like that's not been tough this season. Palace, Fulham, Manchester United, Everton all did it. 3 of those 4 are relegation candidates, but we move in it. If you want to talk facts, we can talk facts. But the floor's yours. The floor's yours.
Thank you. Anyway, so as I was saying, Gerrard deserves a bit more credit because you know he got points off the tougher team.
No. Let's talk on Liverpool. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Concentrate like juice. Yeah,
I am talking about Liverpool.
Make that juice extra strong. I don't even want to see no water poured in that cup. Yeah, let's concentrate.
Anyway. So yeah, big up Gerrard. But when it comes to Liverpool, listen, it's just shit.
He lost you the league, bro.
I don't even like. I genuinely do not know what to say anymore. You know, I said all this throughout the summer. You guys know, got attacked all summer long. You know, and now 6 games into the season, people want to start talking about transitions and rebuilds. No. Fuck that. You told me that this team is good enough to win the league. So I'm going to hold you accountable for you saying you're going to win this league. So I'm holding everyone accountable. I don't give a shit because my throat left my tonsils left my throat. Like they have disappeared from saying the same stuff for 3 months. 3 months long.
So I'm guessing you're not impressed by the Arthur Melo signing.
That's what I was going to ask him about as well.
Arthur, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I've seen this before. Ben Davies, Ozan Kabak. If this show was done in June and I said, hey guys, I think we should sign Arthur Melo to make us league champions, every single one of you would have laughed in my face. So let's not now pretend that Arthur Melo is the Lord and Savior who's going to come in and change blah, blah, blah. Is he an upgrade on Henderson and Milner? Yes. Me and Flawless would be an upgrade on Henderson and Milner. So, you know, it's not that hard. Me and him in a double pivot, we'd be better than Henderson and Milner, 100%. But that's not the point. The point is
Billy Elliott in a double
communication issues. I sense.
All jokes aside, being serious now, I think what's happening right now to Liverpool Football Club is a result of negligence, is a result of arrogance in the transfer window thinking you're always better than everyone else. Teams, we were close to City. They're above us in terms of level, but the other teams now have lessened the gap between us and them. And that's where the issue lies. Everyone around you improves and you don't improve. And there were options in the transfer market. Let's assume, for the sake of argument, Liverpool are poor and we have the finances of Burnley and we ain't got no money. Ryan Gravenberch less than 30 million, Yves Bissouma less than 30 million, Campbell Phillips 42 million, Matthias Nunes 38 million. I could go on and on and on with
Casemiro,
options. Even Paqueta, who just went to West Ham. So there were options out there in the market. We didn't use them, and this is the result of it. I think systematically now, and from just like purely on the football pitch, the best player, I think the two best players in the league over the last 5 years, if we were to talk overall, is Salah and KDB. Those are the two I put above everyone else overall. Yeah. You cannot have your best player and possibly the most dangerous forward in the league playing as a right wing back. You cannot do that. If you look, Salah's playing much deeper than probably he's ever done since his days in Italy. His first shot and wider, 100%. His first shot was in the 94th minute. One shot on target in the 94th minute. And my thing is, Trent, Robertson, Van Dijk, Gomez, Fabinho, our midfielders, everyone, the only people I can say are playing well is probably Elliott and Alisson. And Firmino's picked up the last two games. But when you have you have 7-8 players not performing at their level, I cannot blame individuals. So I'm not going to sit up here and say Trent had a bad game. Robertson,
did you blame the manager?
Because 100%. I've always been fair. Klopp has been just as bad, if not worse, than the players we have on the pitch this season. Okay. Systematically, from the transfer window perspective, and people are afraid to call it out, but I'm not afraid. I would say it as it is. Jurgen Klopp has been massively at fault for what's going on at Liverpool Football Club. You cannot have Mo Salah play right wing back. You cannot do that. And this is the thing. By the way, I've kept the same energy for Diaz as well. You can go back and listen to what I'm saying. I'm not blaming Salah. I'm not blaming Diaz because they're so isolated. If you look at Salah's heat map and Reece James's heat map, it's the same thing. Like, this is not what he's supposed to do. I want Salah close to goal. I want Diaz close to goal. There's been a systematic issue. And this is why in the summer, once again, Husam got attacked, yet gets proven correct. I did not want Darwin Núñez. I wanted a more complete footballer. I wanted an Nkunku. I wanted a Lautaro Martinez. I wanted someone who's able to pass the football.
I know it would have looked poor because City's leftovers, but would you have even taken a Gabriel Jesus, who's more complete?
I can share the screen right now and show you a tweet in which I said, why don't we go for Jesus?
Let me just
land on this final point.
We've had this conversation, Husam.
We needed a complete footballer. We did not need a goal scorer. We needed someone who could get everyone else involved, because we've got Diaz, we've got Salah, we've got Jota, we've got Firmino, we've got players who can score goals. Scoring goals was never the issue. So we need someone who can actually play football. And the problem is now we've got someone who's a target man, a typical striker. You're asking the most dangerous forward in the league for the last 5 years to basically create for him, which makes no sense. If I am going to build the team around anyone in the whole team, it's going to be around Mo Salah, because he's been there, he's done that, he's proven it, he's scored the goals. It's as simple as that. So for me, I don't like what's going on. And it's just papering over the cracks. And now Thiago's back. Oh shit, he gets injured 2 games later. It's just the same old crap over and over again. And we're at top 14 now. So please don't ask me what's no title race anymore. From now to the end of the season.
I'm not going to ask about the title race. We know the title race is over. I've already said that.
I'll ask all the other Liverpool fans, but I won't ask you.
Yeah, we won't ask you. I was never going to ask you. What I will ask you is, with everything you've just stated there in regards to systems and Mo Salah playing out of position, Diaz not being in the... Do you understand why a section of your fan base is on Klopp, criticizing Klopp and Klopp out? Do you get it now?
No, but I never said I don't get it. I never said
No, I'm asking you though. Are you more understanding of it?
Listen, if you're criticizing Klopp, 100% I have no problem with it. Every person has the right to an opinion, and Klopp deserves the criticism this season, 100%.
Well, do you understand why some of your fan base is now that manager out with everything you've just said? Is what I'm asking.
Yes,
are you more understanding?
I understand 100%.
I still think it's harsh. I still think it's very harsh.
So do I. You know what? I'll be honest, yeah. If I look at that game, I don't know if it was on this show last week. No, I don't think it was. I was speaking with somebody and I said, I just fear that the problems here at your club are bigger than this, right? And when I say bigger than this, I mean that there's knock-on effects. Same as when they didn't retain. They got injuries. I understand that. But then there was also contract negotiations going on. And when a manager starts having to speak to players differently and there's contract negotiations going on, the dressing room can, I don't mean completely turn, but start to turn a little, right? And if you look at Liverpool, it was weird things I'm noticing. Like Klopp came out after the game, right? Now, usually I'd expect Klopp to come out firing. I was looking forward to the interviews to see the passive-aggressive Klopp. I didn't see the passive-aggressive Klopp. It was almost like a Klopp that kind of
broken,
quite calm. And it was almost like he knew it was his fault. So he didn't want to swing out at anyone because he knew it was his fault. His substitutions stank. They stank, right? I kind of looked at the lineup at first and thought, yeah, I get what he's doing here, because at last he's playing Harvey Elliott, he's playing
Carvalho.
He's now, and then he's got Fabinho, who someone described it as being the shepherd and letting the two sheep do the running. And I thought, yeah, he's got two people that can run the channels. This could work. In hindsight, playing against the Everton side that are just on shithousery, right? He should have started, maybe, if he wanted to start Milner, if he wanted to play Milner at some point in that game, start Milner. So for the first 60 minutes, you can have a bit of shithousery and then bring on your runners that can run the channels and stretch the game. Instead, he brought Milner on as an impact player. And it's like
right back in it for Trent.
Yeah, I think because the Champions League's coming up, he decided to go fullback in terms of Robertson off the bench.
Game week 6.
But also,
we cannot rest now. Game week 6, come on.
You can rest. No, but Husam, you just said the title race is over, so surely Liverpool's priority should be Champions League.
Hold on. The other thing.
No, but you cannot think that way. You cannot think that way.
Why can you not think? Why can you not prioritize?
Nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's
no,
guaranteed.
No. It's not a question of guaranteed. You've said don't ask me about no title race. Liverpool are not in a title race.
Yeah, we're in a race.
So the fact that why would he not prioritize the Champions League, which is one of your better chances of winning a competition? It's arguably your best chance.
I don't think we have a chance of winning the Champions League either.
Okay, you have a better chance of winning the Champs than you do the Premier League.
Carabao?
I don't think so.
What?
I don't think so at all. I really don't.
Well, he doesn't believe they can win either. So
no. I'm just saying. You're definitely one of the favorites for that competition.
If PSG, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, or Barcelona face us, we're finished.
So you scared of Barcelona? You're one of the top.
I think Liverpool. I think the Liverpool the Liverpool that are fully at it, that are intense, that are back and forth, that are overpowering teams with their ability to run and then obviously catch people in transition. That Liverpool is scary in the Champions League. But this Liverpool feels very lethargic. It feels very toothless. It feels very like it doesn't feel the same. Well. It is injuries, but those injuries are going to keep happening. And in a World Cup year, I said it. This is why I said nobody would break the I don't think anybody will make the 90 points. City might just fall short, maybe 88. But the World Cup is going to force injuries, and the players have been overplayed. They played the Nations League. They were all pulling up with hamstrings and whatnot during that. And with 5 substitutions, this was the time to have maybe more players, not less. And I think that's where a lot of the teams that needed midfielders have fallen short. Make no mistake as well. The midfield is the most. Make no mistake. The midfield is the most taxing position in the world. It is the epicenter of your team. Back, forward, side to side, covering people, left, right, and center, creativity, passing, scanning. All these things require so much energy. When you're playing on the sides, you got to do a bit of running, but mentally as well, you can see everything on the pitch. I think midfield is very mentally taxing because you've got to see everything around you. So it's a cooker in there. So it's tough, man.
So Husam, man, I understand why you feel the way you feel, man. Premier League over, Champions League over. I get it.
Let me just say one final thing on the game, but because I know we have to move on to the other games now. With the Klopp thing, I am always in favor of changes positively. So the fact that he started Fabio and Harvey, I have no problem because you tried something new. I'm okay with it. Even if it doesn't work, I'm never going to criticize him. Here's where Klopp fucked up in that game. In the second half started, he won us the game, and 15 minutes later, he lost us the game. As soon as the half started, you bring on Firmino for Carvalho. If anyone watched the Merseyside derby, the first 15, 20 minutes of the game, we were on the ascendancy. We were creating opportunities. We were so much better with Firmino and Nunes both together on the pitch. We were creating chances. Suddenly, you're watching a good spur of football. And then Jurgen Klopp, for no reason whatsoever, decides to take out Trent and Tsimikas and put on Milner and Robertson. That, for me, makes no sense. When you have got the momentum in your favor and you are on the ascendancy, you don't make a substitution like that. Milner is not better than Trent defensively, nor is he better than him offensively. And as soon as he came on, he got beat 2-3 times. Let's not even go there. He got beat
The defensive side is debatable. I'm just saying.
Nah, it's not anymore. Used to be, but it isn't anymore.
Let's be real.
It's
here.
not.
He got beat.
Bro,
He got
I'll
beat
be
2-1.
100. Look, even last season, the minute I saw that Milner was coming in for Trent when we played Liverpool, I was like, oh, fucking hell.
I hear all that.
Play Foden on the left. And
But
watch
truthfully,
what
Milner don't have them problems at the back post, but that's a whole different conversation.
He ruined his own good work by those two substitutions. And this is the problem with Klopp. Like, he has this stubbornness about him. Like, he plans during the week that minute 60, I'm going to bring off Trent and I'm going to bring off Tsimikas and I'm going to bring on these two players. But Klopp, can we just like adapt to the actual game we're watching? We're the better team now. You have already fixed up your fuck up. You fixed it. We're the better team. We're creating chances. Why do you mess up with the momentum again? So for me, Klopp, once again, like there's conversations about Klopp amongst the Liverpool fan base, and people are having that conversation. Because for me, I'm keeping the same energy. I'm not saying in July, oh my God, let the big boy club do what the big boy club's supposed to do. We're gonna win the league. We're gonna do this, and then 6 games into the season, I'm talking about transition. I ain't doing any of that. So yeah, same energy all the way through.
What were these conversations Liverpool fans are having about Klopp?
Anyway,
what are these conversations?
Half an hour into the show, we have to speak
No.
about
What are these conversations? What are these conversations?
Remember, time
What are these
constraints.
conversations?
I think for me, and I'm gonna say it. I think any conversations on sacking Klopp is extremely premature. Extremely premature.
Very
I think you can criticize 100%, and I say the same to Chelsea fans with Tuchel. I say the same with Chelsea fans with Tuchel. I think both of those managers, in terms of recruitment, they need somebody alongside them that sometimes even over steps what they've said and disagrees with what they said, and actually kind of stops them from self-infliction in a way, in terms of pain. Because these two managers, sometimes they get and they're not comfortable in these positions, and Tuchel's already admitted that. They say that they don't need this, or they say that they have enough of this and enough of that. We have enough midfielders, and they go and list out all of their midfielders. They don't really have the right profile. They don't take into account the injury proneness, or they over anticipate whether these players will be able to be fit, and then they screw themselves over and leave themselves till deadline day. The both of them screwed in midfield, and therefore having to adapt their tactics accordingly and making themselves and their team weaker because of it. Because from a recruitment standpoint, they're just not always on it, and that's why you have the DOFs in place. But managers, and it's very important we establish this, you are not going to find a manager, and this is something that I'm having to say to even Chelsea fans, despite the Tuchel criticisms, you're not going to find a manager that is brilliant at everything. You're not. There's a very finite selection of managers like Pep, and even he has his blunders as well, like in the Champions League, where he over-rotates and he overdoes it. Sometimes he overcomplicates the tactics. Sometimes I think he's sitting up in his room the night before in the hotel, just, like Arteta in the Amazon doc, but he's actually, more assertive of what he's saying, and he's not talking about potatoes. You know that meme where they were like, we can be any type of potato. We can be a hash brown, we can be a mashed potato, we can be a Sunday roast, we can be a chips, we can be this, and we can be that, and anytime we need to adapt to Pep is schooled in this game. He knows what he's saying, but he does sometimes overcomplicate it. Ferguson never even took training. Ferguson was not a brilliant attacking coach. He set up with a 4-4-2. When he went in Europe, sometimes he got absolutely fucked tactically because he couldn't handle it in terms of going up against some of those foreign coaches. Mourinho, sometimes people will say he neglects the youth, and they get disappointed in that with the Kevin De Bruyne and Mohamed Salahs of this world. Conte, people will say, are you being adventurous enough at home in a game at home to Burnley? Every single manager is going to do something to frustrate you as a fan. You're not going to find a manager where you're like, ticks every single box. If you can find a manager that ticks 9 out of 10 boxes, which I believe Klopp does for Liverpool, then for me, you need to be very, very patient and give them the grace of it. Now, if they completely
players as well, same with players. I always have this with. There's a certain element of the City fan base that when it gets to the last stage of the Champions League, you're guaranteed that sooner or later, if we don't win it, then Edison and Pep are going to get criticised, right? And it's like, I hear all of that. It's easy when you lose to criticize someone, but then not speak about everything they do that's won you so many games, that's got you to where they are. And that you're spot on. It's the same with players, same with managers. The Klopp thing is come on, man. Again, it's only 7 games away. The 7 games previous
Going
that
for the
they were
quadruple.
going to do the quad, right?
And that's
now
what I
people
think.
are
Even
talking about, come
Tuchel
on,
with
man.
Tuchel and Chelsea, we were 2 penalty shootouts away from winning 2 domestic trophies in a season that was ridiculously chaotic, and everybody was on the Tuchel bandwagon. So 100% criticize Klopp, 100% criticize Tuchel as we do.
Have
But there
conversations.
has to be a line of a little bit of sit down and perspective and think, fair enough. Let's see if they learn from their mistakes and actually improve and right their wrongs as the season goes on, instead of just saying we're just going to let them go. But I can see Husam looking at the time. He wants to move on to Manchester United. I don't know why you're so quick to move to Flawless and his sarcasm city brand, because we already know Flawless loves to tear into Arsenal. So I'm expecting a monologue. I'm expecting a Harry Potter book. Pause. Jesus, Lord of mercy. I said Arsenal. You can't really. Oh yeah, that is.
And all.
I was going to defend myself, and then I deeped it. I said it back. I said no.
Husam, have you got some questions for me or something? Why you want me to discuss this? Have you got some questions?
I
for me
ain't even
about
talking
this?
about Man United. I want to talk about City. I don't.
Oh,
know.
you already want to talk about
We
City?
spoke about City. We already spoke about City.
Have you got further questions
you
you want to
started
ask?
with my
this
draw.
last
You
time,
gave
remember?
my draw 35 minutes. We ain't gonna talk
No,
about
no,
this
no.
draw.
Matisse,
No, we
Matisse,
spoke about City.
Matisse, but don't you remember? This is what happened last time when United beat Liverpool. He came on the Monday and started saying that the Newcastle draw was as bad as the United's loss.
I
right?
never said
So,
that. Don't put words in my mouth.
I mean, we can talk
Don't
on the
put
City
words
one. The
in my
City
mouth.
one is what it is. It's frustrating as a City fan,
That's
but
what
there
we're
was
here to
definitely
do,
a bigger
battle of the
game
North.
yesterday to talk on. But I don't mind. We'll go with either.
I mean, I thought for me, in terms of like an actual pile up, I thought, Man United Arsenal was a bigger fixture, but we did speak about City and for me, the disallowed goal. You should have lost that game, really, because as we went through it with Coutinho,
You
that
should have
goal
won it in the first half, though. At the same time,
You lot missed a lot of chances. City missed
Walker,
a lot of
Walker, and
chances.
Mahrez need to get on the same. Someone said to me the other day that after the first couple of games where Foden should have passed to Haaland and didn't, it was like Pep and Haaland have ganged up on Foden and bullied him and told him you're passing the ball, and now Foden knows to pass the damn ball to Haaland, right? Walker needs to get on the same page, because Walker, the only two players that I want to see shooting at the moment, if Haaland is in the box, is De Bruyne. Sorry, only 3 is Haaland, De Bruyne, or Alvarez. Anyone else? And the amount of time Walker took to pass the ball kind of confirmed it. You don't believe in yourself. Give Haaland the ball. So he needs to do the same thing. Mahrez needs to do the same thing. Apart from that, we should have killed the game off. It was a weird game because I don't think Villa were good, but they just played effective counter-attacking football. So we move. It's the biggest thing is we have to get our confidence back tomorrow night against Seville, and then we need to go into one of the toughest games we have every single season, which is Tottenham, and we have to go into that. But look, we can talk on this, but
they did a double on you, didn't they? They obviously know that to counter you, you guys are going to dominate possession. They sit in, and they break on you. But you don't really have any major concerns, do you? And nobody really here does about your league credentials. Sevilla, by the way, got absolutely smoked by Barcelona at the weekend. Their defense is a joke. So,
but my only concern with City right now, and Steve and I had a chat about it yesterday, is and you've spoken it earlier. We look light again, numbers wise. If you look at the players that went and the players that came in, sure, we've brought in some new quality, but we haven't brought in. We was light on numbers last season, and we do look a little bit light on numbers again. And already Walker got picked up a knock, which then means you have to switch Cancelo to the right, and then we're going to be relying on potentially our new boy to play on the left, and it's.
You got Ake out there though as well. Ake can play left back.
Ake's coming back, but for me, unless we've got, because of the lack of pace on the left, we need Ake as left centre back to cover. If we're playing with inverted fullbacks, we need Ake as a left centre back.
Yeah.
But look.
We saw Arsenal do it against United. Zinchenko tucks in, Gabriel splits out, similar to what you guys do. I'm just looking back as well in the opening exchange. Walker, what is he doing? Why is he not squaring that to Haaland?
Yeah, he should have squared it. Yeah, he should have squared
it. So stupid.
I told you
see how long
Walker
it took,
100 times.
See how long as
Bro,
well.
He's taking 10 years to make the decision, and then he just
Walker's
goes and smashes it.
Let's just say that.
Erling Haaland is literally standing right there on the line, ready for the tap-ins.
And you know, the other thing is, this is why anyone needs to just pass to Haaland, because even if you think, we might not get there, he will. You've seen his strides. He will get in front of the defender and get to the ball. Just put it across the box. He will get to it, right?
Yeah.
It was just very frustrating to watch. And there was one late with Mahrez. I kind of get it a bit more with Mahrez because Mahrez usually will score. So I can understand why he wants to shoot. But with Walker, it's like,
It's really
that's
greedy
not
from
you,
Walker.
bro. Just play the damn ball. But I'm sure Pep will have taught him a new one. But talking of tearing a new one, apparently Flawless likes to tear Arsenal. So go on, bro.
Why you think he's just gonna move on? I haven't said anything word about.
Hey, go on, Husam.
Come on then. Come on then,
Go on.
Mr. Title
Cannot
Challenger.
speak.
Come on.
I cannot say
Mr.
anything
I told
now.
you so. Go on.
Well,
Let's hear
is
it.
that
Come
what
on,
we're
go
gonna
on.
do? Because in the Liverpool section, even
Yeah.
our Chelsea host speaks. So
Yeah.
I don't get why we move on.
Hey,
Suddenly
you
I
wasting,
cannot say anything.
you wasting your own
No,
time.
go for it,
over
please,
there.
go
Come on,
for it.
First of all,
your
I
time.
just want to
Me
say,
too,
I
me too.
There's no
completely-
Liverpool
I
Newcastle
completely-
thing here. Come on, fam.
I completely
Time is the
disagree with what
essence.
Daps saying. I think City still have the best depth in the league. You know, I'm not agreeing with that number thing. I think you let Jesus and Sterling go, you get Alvarez and Haaland. That's an upgrade, if anything. You've got a Kanji as
We
well
had less numbers last
on
week.
an already stacked centre back. Fernandinho leaves, you buy Calvin Phillips. So I'm not having
now
that. I think
injured. He's now injured, by the
City
way.
have
Wait,
been
to be fair, you did know Calvin Phillips was injury prone when you
Yeah,
bought him.
agreed.
So that
We
was
shouldn't
that
have
was
let-
your
Yeah,
own.
we shouldn't have let Latvia go, should we? To be fair.
Yeah, but Fernandinho.
Yeah,
was
you should have.
38.
You sold too many young players. You
Replacing
got too
Calvin
happy
Phillips
with
is
the.
very smart,
you got
regardless
too-
of him being injury prone.
Like
So-
Man City can't complain about their depth. I completely agree with you. They had an under 23
No,
squad that
I'm
had.
not complaining.
Yeah, I know,
It's a
I
moan
know.
about- it's a moan about my team. We have 19 senior players again. 19.
But the
and
thing
it's
is
not
though
good
is
enough.
you
And they're
walked,
all 19 quality.
But you-
senior
but-
Agreed
players.
quality,
but
but I'm not
also-
talking about quality.
Like
you
ultra
absolutely-
quality Daps.
you absolutely walked the PL2. Absolutely walked it,
Yep,
and
yep.
you sold everyone. And I was like, is there not a couple of them that could have made it? And we saw that game against Southampton. Apparently, we tried to make a 50 million bid for him on deadline day, which I find
Yeah,
extremely embarrassing, considering the guy literally just moved. Talk
Breaking
about
the law as
showing
well, by
your
the way.
cards on the poker table, but he looks good. I mean, could none of these players being integrated by Pep? Is that not a criticism of Pep that he's not integrating
couple.
some
There's
more
a
young
couple.
players? Maybe.
There's a couple. S Brand on the left. We've kept. Riley on
Palmer.
the on. We've kept Riley as well, who's only I think 17. Who looks real. The fact that Pep has let one or two of them go and kept a 17-year-old kind of tells you the faith he's got in the 17-year-old, and obviously Cole Palmer. But it even surprised me the fact that he let McAtee go on loan,
Yeah.
because McAtee was one that we thought, that might stay. It is what it is, and this isn't me. Like, I want to be very clear. I always say that if you support a team, you support every single element of the club, right? So this is not me making excuses. If we come up, if we got that car over the line last season, pushing it, literally. De Bruyne was jabbed up, Laporte was jabbed up. Everyone looked up. We had 37-year-old Fernandinho carrying our defense, right? For us to then come into this season and straight away me be looking at it and thinking we look light already because, Ake's picked up a knock. Let's remember last day of the transfer window, we bought a centre-back. That's concerning. Laporte's injury must be worse than we think, right? Because Pep hasn't gone and bought a centre-back just for the sake of it. He's had a word with someone. Someone's thought, yeah, we better get something in there. So I'm not creating excuses. It will be our club's fault if we end up with the Phillips thing. You're spot on. We knew he carried injuries. We've gone and put all our faith in him. Now
But he's still an
Rodri
upgrade
then.
on Fernandinho. He
He is, but he's got to be available.
At this point
because
in time, because of Fernandinho's age, not because of his profile. Because of his age.
No, I
But
completely.
Fernandinho was available this time last season. Currently, Calvin Phillips isn't.
But that's,
right?
bro.
So, no.
it's an
Are you
upgrade
making out
in
like
terms of age,
availability
though.
isn't
It's
an
an
attribute?
upgrade.
Because it is.
No, he's not saying it's not an upgrade. It's
I'm
definitely
saying
an
it's
upgrade.
only
But he
an
has to,
upgrade
if he's not, if
available.
he's injury prone, that's a chink in his armor. That takes away some of his value to the squad because he's not available enough, and that's the issue.
100%.
If he
But at the
comes
same
back
time,
and plays
Fernandinho
40
was
games a
unable to
season-
play 90 minutes of football for most of the season either.
But they
because
didn't have to get Phillips. They could have
but
got
bro,
someone that's
bro, you
consistently
can't-
available.
No, but I think
Yeah.
I think Phillips is a much better signing than people give them credit for. I
He
think
is,
Phillips
but he's not available, Husam.
I get it. I promise I get it. But what I'm saying is he still
get
is
it?
an upgrade on Fernandinho. The players
No
that have-
one's doubting that he's a good player.
No,
But he
Seven's
has to-
only an upgrade, right?
The
Aubameyang
point
is an
is the
upgrade on
players
having
that they
no
have
striker.
sold are worse than the players they have gotten. Gabriel Jesus, of course, we all know Arsenal friends here, and they have hyped him up to the point of no return. Firmino has the same amount of goals. Sterling has the same amount of goals. Let's not change history and act like Gabriel Jesus was like letting go of Salah or Kevin De Bruyne or someone great. He was not that guy. Sterling, I understand, but then you got in Haaland. So it's once again upgrade. City's depth, in my opinion, is better. And now as well with Daps said it already, they play Sevilla tomorrow. And you know, Flawless earlier on asking about priorities. I think now there is no more excuses because now you have like a complete team. You have a complete starting 11. The Champions League this season,
This is going somewhere.
the Champions League this season should be lifted by no one but
Liverpool fans
Manchester City.
mentioned the Champions League.
Okay, can I just have 30 seconds, please? Can I just have 30
carry on.
seconds?
Yeah, because then we're going to move on.
Best starting 11 in world football, Manchester City. Best squad in world football, Manchester City. Best manager in the world, Manchester City.
He said it. He said it. He said the manager. He's admitted it. You've
I
admitted
can't
it.
even have
Thank
30
you.
seconds. That's mad. I can't even have 30 seconds. So now, all thank you. All Manchester City have to do is this. See this, which you ain't seen your whole life. It's time. It's time now. And I'm not hearing no more excuses. Because every time it's either VAR or this time we played De Bruyne right wing back or Sterling missed the sitter or something. I don't give a shit. City could win the Premier League again.
Therefore, had an aerosol can in the mirror.
A day later, we move on like nothing happened. The Champions League.
I do love that you keep that prop by the side of you every time we got a
Champions League. That's all I'm talking about. Because everyone here is saying City will win the league. I agree. They've won it already, in my opinion.
I'm not.
This right here is what you need now.
Sam, you have that trophy as close to you as I have a bottle of Magnum. Every single time you're pulling that out, bro. Like I appreciate your rehearsed bars. You came on and thinking,
I don't rehearse anything.
You know what? I'll do the usual, and I will take it to the Champions League. So, yep, you do that, bro. Listen, I said we need to win it this season as well. We do. I don't know what your point is.
We're going to move on.
My point is win the Champions League. That's my point.
My point is we're living rent-free because we stop you from doing what you want the most.
You're not living rent-free at all. We stopped us. You didn't stop us. We stopped us.
You don't stop us neither, bro.
We stopped ourselves. That's who we stopped.
Yeah, I think Klopp. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Sammy. It was Klopp.
We stopped ourselves.
Yeah, I hear that.
You know?
Flawless. Talk to me, man. 3-1 against Arsenal, the social media derby. Bruno Fernandes playing like Kevin De Bruyne outside the right boot passes. Rashford running in behind like he did 2-3 years ago. Sancho, Anthony go on his debut. Not bad. It's like you suckered and tricked Arsenal into thinking that, yeah, we're having domination and nice football, and you got overloads on one side, and Martinelli's having his moment here, but that's a free kick, so settle down. And then, bang, transition. Oh. Is this the plan?
Yeah, that is the plan. We got that dog in us. You know what I'm saying? I've been laughing about it. Like, yo, my team's turned into like passion merchants and sort of hybrid. That sort of vibe, that's what it is. I was saying this all week long before the game. I was saying we're going to beat Arsenal. There is nothing special about Arsenal. Are they a good side? Yes. Do they have good players? Yes. But that's as far as it goes. People talking about them as title challengers, winning league titles. They have nothing special. The manager's nothing special. The team overall is nothing special. The players ain't nothing special. If we picked apart their players as individual, who are you taking? People act like they have a Harry Kane in their side, a Son in their side, or they have a manager on the sideline like, say, an Ancelotti who's been there, done that. And I was saying this all week long. Midfield is where this game is key. And our midfield has improved, even though Casemiro didn't start. You can't turn up to Old Trafford with a Lokonga, Xhaka, Odegaard midfield free and think you're winning the game. It's not going to happen. And that's exactly where it was. The big difference in the game was Eriksen, the best midfielder out of the six. And it's shown in the game. From the first minute to the 20th minute, we were the dominant side. We was the best side. We had like 75% of the ball, and we was moving the ball around nicely. Then literally from that point, from what did you say then?
I said that's cap. You were on the better side. Let's not.
No, in the first 10, 15.
Did you hear? No. Did you hear what again? You know, I said from the first minute to the 20th minute. Go back and look at the stats. We had 75% of the ball. So how?
No, they weren't. I agree with that.
So if we had 75% of the ball in the first minute, from the first minute to the 20th, how are we not the better side?
Anthony, that's when Anthony did
those. So you Flawless, just for further proof for further along the season, you use possession as a measure of domination. Just yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Of course I
Okay,
do.
no problem.
Like, that's just common sense. Of course.
That's something that's gone into Husam's bank, and he's not letting that one go.
That's all. Well,
In the memory.
He's gonna rehearse that with the aerosol can for next week. But as I was saying, from the first minute to the 20th,
I don't do any rehearsals.
we was it is.
All from
Yeah,
the
sure.
heart, brother.
From the first minute to the 20th, we was the dominant side. Had more of the ball, looked the more threatening. Then literally from the 20th minute up until Arsenal got their equalizer, so that's including the Manchester United goal, they were the better side. They dominated the ball without really much hurting us. If people want to say Arsenal played better, I mean, Arsenal played better than us. Cool. I actually thought Arsenal did play well. I thought they were decent. They actually did play well, and they were well worthy of their equalizing goal. That being said, for all the possession they had, they barely created anything because defensively we have been solid. That has been the major plus point of Manchester United. That's been our strong point in these last 4 games, is how defensively dogged and how defensively good we've been. And that's why I was confident. And then boom, for whatever reason, I don't know what it was, why Arteta decided to play a high line. Our manager got our subs right. Their manager got their subs wrong. And pieces of quality won us the game. The Eriksen pass that he wrapped into Bruno for the first goal, absolute quality. The second goal, the pass from Eriksen into Bruno then into Rashford then staying on side and having a good finish. Even back to the first goal, the Rashford pass into Anthony, beautifully weighted. That's something I've been very critical of Rashford over. But that's twice in 2 games. He did the same against Leicester for the Sancho goal. He did it against Arsenal for the Anthony goal. So props to Rashford as well. Scott McTominay's been playing better, but the manager's coaching. We actually now have a manager of a certain quality, and it's showing that he's getting the best out of the players he signed, which you would expect, but even the players who were here. I can't fault McTominay. He's been playing well.
Is it very poetic that Gabriel drops an absolute stinker and Martinez has had a pretty solid start to the season? Arsenal fan base saying that he could never play left side centre back for them. He has to play left back. He's too short. We're not signing him to play defence. And now they don't seem to have a lot of competition for their left-footed centre back.
Yeah, because that's Arsenal for you. Like, that's Arsenal fans, not all of them, but the what's the word I'm looking for? The stereotypical Arsenal fan on social media as well.
The Twitter Arsenal fans.
I said it all the time about Martinez. He will not be successful or unsuccessful at Manchester United depending on his height. There's so many different things and so many different factors from defending. You can just because people like equate tallness with being good in the air. So you can be 6'6" and terrible in the air. You can be 5'8" and incredible in the air. For those
Chikorito versus Tammy Abraham.
You know what I'm saying? Like Tim Cahill wasn't the tallest, incredible. You know what I'm saying? Aerially for Everton. I don't know how
Peter
many.
Crouch wasn't that good in the air.
Peter Crouch was 6'7" and was not brilliant in the air. Exactly. So that's what it is with Martinez. But our manager got it right. I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's 4 wins from 4, and yeah, man, it's all looking good. And I expect this form to go on. And what I also like as well is the managers switching it up, and we're playing different ways. From the first minute to the 20th was different. We rode out the storm and the momentum that Arsenal had. And now I trust that defense. I don't think we're going to concede. And we're seeing the best out of everyone. When people was criticizing Varane last season, I said, what do you expect Varane to do in this team? All of a sudden, you put him next to Martinez, who's a good defender. All of a sudden, he looks better. Dalot looks better. I've always been a fan of Dalot, modern day fullback. But last year, even though Saka did get the best of him at times, he's a good fullback. You put Eriksen there with McTominay, all of a sudden McTominay looks better. Eriksen looks better. I'm saying Rashford playing up.
You still expect Casemiro to come into that?
Yeah, Casemiro will, but like McTominay's there on merit currently. That's why when our fan base was like, why is Casemiro not starting? McTominay deserves his start. He's playing well. This is what I've cried out for personally. I've said this for the longest. It's all about merit. If you play well, you keep your place. If you play poorly, you should be dropped. And too many times under the last regime, that was the big issue. Man could drop 2 out of 10s 4 games in a row. A man is starting the next game. Like, no, hold these men accountable. This is why when Luke Shaw and Maguire got dropped in the first 2 games, we ain't seen them man since. Because they've been playing like this and putting in performances. But I'm just happy we have a manager who's of a certain caliber, and now he's implemented a system, and I can see what's going on the pitch. And I'm confident going into games. I was confident going into this Arsenal game.
The way Ronaldo was used as well, finally, was like, unless before anybody else jumps in, but Ronaldo was used in sparingly as off the bench. He actually started pressing from the front, caused a few turnovers, made a good run. Fred didn't spot him, really shit pass, but Ronaldo was actually lively off of the bench. He was actually, because you kind of condense the time frame for him at his age and just say to him, right, we're going to use you as a super sub. We know you can get the killer goal if you need to. Maybe he could have had a couple opportunities to do that.
Yeah, a couple opportunities.
And that's it really for him in terms of his role.
Yeah, and that's when I was debating people all summer, and I was getting criticized from my own fan base about it in regards to, oh, Ronaldo should be starting. No, Ronaldo should be used sparingly as a squad player. We've seen the best of Ronaldo against Arsenal when he's come off the bench, against Leicester when he's come off the bench. Now we play Sociedad on Thursday. He'll probably start that game. That's where Ronaldo should be utilized. The reason why I had so much energy for Ronaldo leaving is because he said he wanted to go. And my thought process always is, if a player doesn't want to be at the club, let them go. I don't care if it's my favorite player. I don't care if it's my first team. I don't care if it's a first teamer. I don't care if it's a youngster, whoever it is. If you don't want to be at Manchester United, leave. I actually understood why Ronaldo wanted to leave. But then that's on us to let him go. But he's here still. Utilize him like that. He should be a squad player. And that's why we're seeing the best of him. Because he played his part in the third goal, holding the ball up, and then he played it to Bruno then to Eriksen, and then Eriksen on to Rashford. But yeah, man, it's looking good. It's looking good.
You know what? I'll be honest. The thing that impressed me the most about the whole game, and firstly, United were good. Bruno's first pass and his second pass, the vision to see that run for the second pass was mad.
Yeah.
Also, I think Malacia and Martina have just that partnership works 100% on the left hand side.
Two dogs.
Yeah,
they got that dog in him, man. That's what it is.
He did get cooked a bit, but
yeah, he did.
Against Saka, so the thing is, that's gonna happen.
You know what though? He got cooked against Liverpool once or twice, but he battled back and won the ball back. Whereas Shaw would have just been cooked and that's it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Shaw would.
But the thing that impressed me the most, I don't know if any of you watched the interview with Ten Hag afterwards with Sky. If you haven't, go and watch it, because for me, that was what moving forward worries me the most, because it's like, you know, when you can just watch what a manager's saying. I think he had Keane, Neville, Jimmy Floyd, Hasselbank, and the main Sky presenter, can't remember his name, all firing questions at him. The way he handled the questions is like, I've seen Pep be asked questions like it before, and he's just talking football. He was there. He was called to stand there for 10 minutes with them and talk football, because everything was just, when they're asking, it was just very simple philosophy towards football and how to approach the games and everything. And that's what, for me, it's made me think, yeah, this guy is the real deal. This guy knows what he's talking about. And then on the other hand, we've got with Arteta, look, at points yesterday, I thought, you know what? I was very impressed with how Arsenal were working their system. Their system looked fluid at times. Their passing looked good. But the one thing, and I thought, you know what? This guy has really learned from Pep. But the one key thing he has not learned from Pep is, if the system is fluid, it's mad, because his slogan is trust the process, but he didn't trust the system. After 65 minutes, he's not thinking, no, be patient. Even when Man United scored their second, it
started going gung-ho for it too much.
It wasn't like Man United were dominating the game. You know what? If you keep playing the way you played Arsenal, you may well get another chance and make it 2-2. Instead, he went and completely changed the system. And even with Pep, if Pep ever did decide to change the system, it's not 3 players in one instantly, like push up the back line. It was just like, you haven't trusted your own process here, bro. Like, you've gone and literally fucked it up yourself. Like, he can't. I think their work looked good. Also, I think Saka looked very average yesterday. I think Saka needs a rest badly. The same way that I feel like Trent and Robertson have needed a rest for Liverpool, it looks like Saka needs a rest for Arsenal as well. But I can't knock anything to do with Man United. I think, yeah, they look good, man. They look
on
good.
a roll. Obviously, confidence is high, and this is what I was saying even after the first 2 games. I was like, yo, but people talking about, oh, it's still the same. You know what I'm saying, he's a Glazer puppet. Why is he still playing such and such a player? Maguire's still the captain. I was like, well, he's been here. I was like, he's been here 2 minutes. Like, you need a bigger sample size than 2 games. We need a bigger sample size than 6 games. Yeah. Like, that's what I said. I'll give him the season. Yeah, go on.
I know that Maguire post must have pissed you off or made you chuckle afterwards, though. He's come on, literally. I think he came on and got a yellow, right?
He got a yellow instantly.
Even though it wasn't his fault, it was Casemiro's. It just summed up Maguire.
But then he's put out a well done, lads. Like, fuck off.
Like, when he was on the pitch, like, I was just like, oh, geez. Because, like, you see the levels of difference with Martinez and Varane, not over individually, but also as a partnership. And we know that's where the squad is weak. But I can see where we're working to. The confidence is high. The players are playing well. We're playing different ways as well. Do I want to see us be a bit more ball dominant against certain teams? Yes, but what I like is Ten Hag's working with what he has. He's utilizing the most. out of what he has because he don't have certain players, not getting certain players and certain players not being fit. Like he would have planned to have Martial because Martial's been injured. All right, Rashford is now up top. So now we switched it up into how we're playing. So yeah, I'm with it and just being confident. But my overall objectives for this season don't change in my expectations. I already said target the Europa League. That's something we should definitely 110% be winning in the top 4 race. And look at the domestic cups.
You ain't gonna get top 4. You ain't gonna.
Well, I don't think we'll get top 4. I said fifth. I agree.
I agree with you. Look, the Arsenal United game, Europa League clash.
Yeah, that's why you froze. Hold that. You know what
That's
I'm saying? Hold that. Hold that. Even your Wi-Fi didn't want to hear you.
Every time. Anyway,
your Wi-Fi didn't want to hear you.
Very quick, because we got to wrap up.
Yes, I know. I'm well aware at the time. You know, I had to listen to Arteta prop from a City fan.
Yo, this ain't Liverpool.
So I think
this ain't Liverpool, Newcastle at Anfield. You know, man. We got to wrap up.
We have no time, brother. Anyway, so I think it was a fantastic Europa League clash. Both teams as well have to start in the Europa League, which is why both of them are not making top 4 this season. I'm on record. They're saying Arsenal ain't making top 4. I know this is better than North, but let me just say one thing. First of all, United 100% deserve to win. No one gives a shit about champagne football. They executed the game plan to perfection. They deserve to win. Arsenal were the better team, you know, so tomato, whatever. Refereeing conversations don't think would have made a difference. But let me just say this. Arsenal are a disgrace. Arsenal are shit. Arsenal ain't getting top 4. I'm telling you right here, right now. Arsenal are not making the top 4. As soon as the Europa League starts, God forbid, you guys saw Partey out immediately, different team. So, you know, God forbid Jesus gets injured. They have to start in Nketiah. Suddenly, Arteta out. The cycle starts over and over again. You know, this is a London club, I know, but I'm disappointed in them because the one time I wanted Arsenal to win, they lose. Maybe me. Maybe I'm the bad luck charm. But, you know, it is what
both
it is,
your
man.
teams lose at Old Trafford in the past 2 weeks.
I think any Ten Hag prop is way too early at this point in time. I think, you know, let's come back in November and then we'll talk when they're 7th and shit. So, yeah, that's
where was it before we get in? Where was the Ten Hag?
Well, listen, I'm gonna sign off because I know these two are gonna go back and forth otherwise.
Exactly. See that?
So I'm not gonna let it happen.
Where was the Ten Hag prop? I just
make sure you subscribe to Flawless, yeah, Mr. Take Note, aka Sarcasm City TV. There you go. Make sure you subscribe. Link is in the title and in the description. Make sure you subscribe to This Is Football. Don Husam, Mystic Husam, aka as well. Waiting to call more things in the future. He's already given a couple predictions there at the end of the show. And make sure you subscribe to Daps as well. Never a Foul. Look at it, man. Just look at the set. Go and see some more of that. Do you know what I mean? It's beautiful. You got some vegetation in the background. Lovely prop there with the Man City pillow. Never a Foul brand in the TV. Looking all crisp. Little bit of brickwork as well. Bruh.
Shirt.
Yeah. Listen, you love to see it. So, guys, make sure you go subscribe. Get that done. And, yeah, big up your damn selves. And like I said, make sure you're locked in because this show, we already know it's going to be peak, fam. Lord have mercy. We know that for sure. In a bit, people. Peace.
3, 2, 1, start.